This is Doctor Who Time of the Daleks, a cooperative game for a number of doctors. Now, immediately we've got around the big problem with licensed games like this of I want to play as the main character, in the fact that obviously you're all playing as the Doctor at the same time. There are 4 playable Doctors within the box. Doctor number 1, Doctor number 4, Doctor number 13 and Doctor number 11. I know it's been a while, but the 4th Doctor really does look a lot like Boris Johnson in a wig. Now this is a simple adventure game where you're going to be trying to get around the board all the way from Skaro, through Earth, through time, until you get back to Gallifrey. But if the Daleks make it to Gallifrey first, then bad news, you've lost. And also, if you get so many Daleks appearing through time and space that the big bad Dalek Davros turns up, then you've also lost. At the start of the game, you're each going to pick the Doctor you'd like to start playing as, and also which kind of TARDIS board you'd like, from a variety of different eras of the TV show, including this black and white one, which honestly looks like a bunch of grandchildren deeply disappointed that Grandad's about to drop another lackluster DJ set. On your turn, you're not actually going to move the TARDIS around through time and space. Instead, you're going to choose to go and have an adventure somewhere in the universe. Now, you can sort of choose where you want to go, but sometimes you can't, as is quite common with the TARDIS. You're going to roll the TARDIS dice, and perhaps you're going to get to choose where the TARDIS goes, but perhaps you're not, and you're going to have to just take a new location tile from this stack. If that's the case, we put it on the table and go, okay, it's Alabama 1955 in the past and Punjab 1947 in the past. We have 2 different parts of this one location, and with it we have 2 different dilemmas that also get added to the pastiche. We've got the Shimsha, Shimmy Shimmy Shah, and we have an impossible astronaut, or the impossible astronaut if we're going to be correct about things. Now these locations and these problems slot together to create fantastic hybrid problem situations, otherwise known as adventures. Your Doctor is going to get pulled to that or jump to it of their own volition, depending on how lucky you are with the TARDIS dice, and then it's up to you to try and resolve this situation. Now let's just say that I'm playing as the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith. He gets 4 black dice and 1 blue dice initially in order to add to his roll pool of things that he can use to try and resolve situations. But of course a Doctor is no use without companions, and that's why throughout the game you're going to be putting underneath your lovely little board down here some companions that you find from either Earth or other planets. Companions are going to let you re-roll certain colours of dice, change black dice into different new colours of dice, or simply add brand new coloured dice to your pool, with the rule being that you're not allowed to have more than 8 dice that you're rolling when you actually try and attempt one of these challenges, which are as simple as they look. If you roll all of these things after you've spent all of your re-rolls and all of that stuff, then you've successfully done it. If not, you have failed. But in addition to companions, you've also got some other stuff, such as equipment and other things in a, I'm going to say this once, in a deck of timey-wimey cards. That's really what they're called. It's written on the back of the cards. I've said it once, I'm not going to say it again. I like the TV show, but come on now, there's a limit. We've got the timey-wimey cards, and that allows me to have, I've done it twice already, done. Okay, never mind. TARDIS Library, the Doctor's Ring, and we're all stories in the end. A lot of this equipment is going to require that you use charges in your sonic screwdriver, which you're going to be collecting every turn in order to expend it, and you can also spend charges from your sonic screwdriver to re-roll dice or flip dice to any side you want to get yourself out of a scrape. Additionally, because arguably you are all just one person split throughout time and space, you can offer to help each other when performing these tasks. If you actually come to their location physically, then you can roll a bunch of dice of their pool, and then you've got a split between you of the abilities you can use to get the better rolls. Or if you're going to try and help them across time and space, you just get to roll 1 of their dice. But again, still use all of your powers to try and sway it in your favour. After all of your rolls and re-rolls and flips and all of that jazz, you've managed to achieve the requirements of that adventure, then you get the little bonus that's printed on the bottom of it, which is usually moving your TARDIS forward some spaces. And the final twist here is there are some time anomalies dotted around the board. When the Daleks hit them, it's not good, and you're going to get time anomaly cards appearing as new locations and new problems you're going to have to try and fix, but also they allow you to do stuff that you wouldn't usually be able to do, like being in the same space at the same time and helping people out. Basically all the stuff that doesn't really make sense if you're a fan of the TV show. And finally, you know, this is a pretty simple game as things go, but there's a whole stack of different locations, all of them from the TV show throughout the years, a whole bunch of different dilemmas, which are effectively different types of aliens and creatures and problems. And mixing all this stuff up is quite tasty. And finally, there's also the fact that when you are going to find companions, at the start of every adventure, you get to draw a new companion, depending on whether or not you're on Earth or on an alien planet. If you succeed the adventure, you get to keep that companion with you until you're bored of them. And it's a simple but pleasing touch that a lot of these cards are linked to other cards, which means if you've got a companion or a piece of equipment or even a location that says linked, then it means that when you go to get a piece of equipment or a companion, rather than just drawing from the deck, you can go and find the specific character or thing that is linked with that person. It's a small touch that ties together this simple cooperative adventure game, and I've no doubt that pairing up Jenny Flint with Vastra once again will bring a tear and a small bit of joy to the eyes of any Doctor Who fan that exists in time or space. And that's a brief introduction to Doctor Who, Time of the Daleks.